Hello, my name is Raymond Garchevsky, and this is coming to you from my home here in Cave Junction, Oregon. Tonight I should like to share with you a letter that I wrote to Elaine Brown, the title of which is "Truth is Not Welcome in a Land of Deception." Elaine Brown is presently incarcerated at the Carswell Federal Prison at Fort Worth, Texas. Her husband, Ed Brown, is incarcerated at the Marion, Illinois Federal Prison. Both are innocent victims of trumped-up IRS charges which were brought against them by a satanic court after a high-profile court trial. They were convicted unlawfully and imprisoned. They have largely been forgotten by a nation caught up in the fear of the coming collapse of our once great constitutional republic. I begin with, dear Elaine, please forgive me for the length of time since our last communication. I can't help but feel that I am disturbing you with my comments. You and Ed share the Christian mindset and live it to the best of your ability. Such a mindset is shared by many, many others, and it is all that you know. You have put your lives on the line for it, and as a result, you and Ed are sitting in prison for it today. You have invested your lives in it and are being pressed to your limitations of understanding through the experiences which have brought you to where you and Ed are today. You and Ed are being tested spiritually. Sorely tested, I might add. The usual normality of your previous day-to-day Christian lifestyle is failing to give you the solace it once offered in the apparent normalcy of your previous life, wherein you thought you were free, but found that you were not. It is that satanic illusion which holds mass consciousness captive as slaves, while feeding a world populace images of freedom to assuage the pain of their enslavement. It is not my intention to attack your Christian conditioning, or, for that matter, any other worldly religious conditioning, but truth is the only gift of love that I have to offer and can give to you, Ed, and all others. That is why I share my messages with all who are in this world, both on and off the internet. We, each of us, are under constant temptation to communicate with one another through deception. Even though most are completely unaware of the satanic aspect, the division and opposition of it. Truth is not welcome in our world. The idea of truth, the reflection of truth, the image, the concept, with its positive feelings but misdirecting energy, is. Until one has come to understand the subtlety of such refined deceptions, they are relegated to serving the petty god of intellect, Satan itself. When I speak to one, I speak to the world. For in fact we are all of one consciousness, that of Christ consciousness. but almost all have been diminished in their spiritual awareness through their lifelong satanic conditioning via political and religious beliefs that they have become but shells of who they truly are, that is, until they are restored to their true spiritual capacity. That is the nature of life. It is a satanic spiritual testing ground, a spiritual reform school, if you will. One must return to truth by traversing the deceptive rabbit trails of satanic life. Each of us possess Christ consciousness, but have lost sight of who and what we are. We have forgotten who we are. Most suffer from spiritual amnesia. The concepts that we worship, we have become satanic in nature, not whole, not holistic, not holy. We have lost the sight of what truth is. We have become fragmented beings that are ruled by our thoughts, which are dualistic and opposing in nature. That is the satanic effect that thought has on every living, civilized man and woman who has ever lived, including Christ's. To most, the word Christ holds many images, all of which create division, confusion, and separation. However, a Christ is one who has transcended, that has ended the trance, the satanic level of conditioned dualistic thought, and has been reborn of the spirit of the one true spiritual level of divine awareness, which is direct perception of truth. That is one's true spiritual estate, the resurrection of the spirit of divine intelligence, direct perception and resonance with the undefinable, unreplicatable perception, the essence of holistic truth, the essence of consciousness, which lies beyond the limitation of fragmented words, ideas, concepts. Jesus of Nazareth, a Christ, was nothing more than a simple man of truth. I, too, a Christ, am nothing more than such a simple man of truth. All Christs are strangers in a strange land, for such land is ruled by satanic deception, and therein truth is never welcome. Truth lies beyond words and thoughts, although it is holistic in essence, which cannot be attained through thought. It certainly can be felt, usually as a disturbance to one's limitation of incomplete satanic thought. You see, it is impossible for me to communicate anything but the truth, and in this life, on this world that we share, the truth is never welcome. That is the constant temptation presented by Satan, the petty god of intellect, through the flaw of language, to communicate directly the truth, through the imprecise medium of language. One with spiritual eyes can see the havoc that such deviant use of language has had upon the human race, since man's fall from grace, since man's seduction into the satanic abyss of dualistic, opposing intellect. Elaine, I hope that I have communicated to you why my letters to you and Ed have fallen off. I am seemingly offending your religious sensibilities, and have put you and Ed in a position of confusion and disturbance by challenging you to look again at your lifelong conditioned beliefs. You both must decide for yourselves wherein the truth lies, in the word of a friend, or your lifelong satanically ruled, satanically institutionalized conditioning. It is not an easy task by any means. I am sharing this letter on the internet, for all are my brothers and sisters alike, and they too, as do you and Ed, deserve to hear the truth.